Now is the time, buddies.
Oh, now is the best time.
Just kill two of the options. It's not top five, it's top three.
It is. I didn't even notice that.
Tonight's top three is the top three Disney resorts lobbies. Your number three of the top three resort lobbies.
I start off with the Yacht and Beach Club, and I kind of slid two in here, but I'm going to focus primarily on the Beach Club, and for good reason. For me, the Beach Club is one of the most welcoming environments on Disney property. From the time you step in, you get greeted immediately. It's very, very kind of laid back. It's got the beach vibes. It's got the nice smell when you walk in the lobby, and something about it just has this weird, and it's going to sound really strange, but it's the AC is always very cold in there. So when you step in after a walk back from Epcot or a walk back from the bus stop, it's always a very, very pleasant experience. But kind of the selling factor on it for me is actually the view out of the back of the lobby. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you've been there before, if you walk through the main lobby at the Beach Club, take a step, or even you don't even have to leave the lobby. You can sit in their little seating alcoves off to the left or to the right that back up to the windows. And you can look out and you see that great, like, characteristic boardwalk view in the distance. And you have the reflection off the water at night. You have the early sunrises in the morning. But at the end of the day, it's a very, very nice experience. It's not the most elaborate lobby, but it's one that sticks with you.
Most of the lobbies are great, but I always start with one that is I really like, and it's the lobby for the Disney's Art and Animation Resort. I think that particularly with that kind of resort that you have a copycat of architectural designs or structures for mostly Pop Century, Art of Animation, and the All Stars. They did something totally different with that lobby, and I'm really, really, really like. I really appreciate that lobby, and sometimes I like to visit Art of Animation for many things, but mainly the lobby. I really like that lobby. And
it's kind of surprised me that it was on your list.
Why?
Like, to a pretty aggressive degree. I agree. It's a great lobby. I didn't expect it to come out of you, though.
No, I liked it a lot. I liked a lot.
No, but it also has, like, one of the best gift shops on property, too, if you're looking for just a good variety of merchandise that you can't always find other places. It's an excellent option for that, and very, very large. And then it backs up to kind of, I believe that's the resort. It does back up to their food court area, correct? Doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of an added bonus. It's all right there in one thing. You can make kind of an evening of it if you're not staying there and just kind of explore a little bit. And the outside areas are wonderful, too.
Yep.
Very unique.
The last time I stayed there was actually for the opening of Galaxy's Edge. And then they put me in the Little Mermaid area. So I was.
There you go.
So
felt right at home.
I was in the Ariel room. It was.
Like, but do you?
Super manly.
Do you have a Roger Rabbit room?
There should be.
No, there's no Roger Rabbit. No.
But that's what you were asking, I'm sure.
No. Don't put me there.
It is. I don't know which one's going first either, but because I didn't really. And it doesn't matter because I don't have an order to mine. I couldn't pick a favorite child,
show you.
frankly. So we'll start. We'll start with a pretty good one. The Polynesian Village. It's so fantastic. It is like I know it's like this amalgam of different places. I know it's there's like it doesn't represent a real place, right? It's this fictionalized space that is meant to take you to the South Pacific and maybe to parts of Hawaii and the tropics and there's tiki stuff going on and it just screams vacation to me. Like the minute you pull up and you step out and it doesn't matter whether you're visiting and coming in by monorail or whether you're pulling in on Magical Express bus or coming in your car, that little stretch if you're coming in downstairs when you walk from where you get out of the vehicle into the lobby, and you have waterfalls on either side of you, and the music's playing, and the tiki torches are lit even during the day, you feel you're like, I have now stepped into vacation. It's similar to the feeling you have when you step into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, when you step into the movie, the film, the animation. It's kind of like that. I've stepped into vacation.
Collin, it's your second one.
But it's the boardwalk. And partially this surprised me when I was thinking through resorts that I had kind of chosen as my favorite lobbies. And it did that because it's not one that a lot of people think of. It's not this huge grand lobby, but it is very unique in design aspects of things and the decor that they have and the little details that really make it a plush experience. The smell is similar to Yacht and Beach Club. It's not the same, in my opinion. We've had a great debate about that, but it is very unique. And when you're standing in the lobby, you can look out the back, and you still have that same view over Crescent Lake, but you have it over the Village Green. You have the nice seating area right outside the lobby with the rocking chairs, and even in the lobby itself, especially around Christmas, which Jason was kind enough to submit a photo for us for. What the lobby looks like at Christmas. But the whole experience is just very unique. And if you catch it at the right time, Mickey and Minnie greet at around the holidays in the lobby, which is a really unique photo opportunity and one that a lot of people doesn't know exists. I stumbled into it once when I was staying there with family around the holidays.
I did this.
It's a great experience.
The
wait's normally less than 10 minutes. It's kind of nuts to see. There's normally probably not right now because all the COVID stuff, but there's normally the water dispensers in the lobby, which are nice, like flavored waters and everything. And there's just a nice variety of opportunities to just kind of explore. If you go to the right when you go inside the lobby, you can play with I believe they're called mutascopes or stereoscopes or whatever they are that are over on the right. You crank the handle, you can watch the little flip movie. It's just so many things that are sensory that are really unique to that resort. It may not be the grandest lobby, but when you have a view like that out the back, it doesn't need to be the grandest lobby. It just needs to convey the point, convey the atmosphere, and convey the story. And I think it does that better than just about anywhere on property.
Let's go to my second one. It is one of the moderate resorts, and I think it was in the list, probably was about to get in the list of everybody. I was fast enough, I think, because it's the Port Orleans French Quarter lobby. I love that one. Is kind of unique, simple, and there's something about that it is the only lobby that you're gonna in a few steps you're gonna have beignets next to you. It's a wonderful snack and a wonderful place. I really like the French Quarter. It's been a long time that I stood there, but it is one of the resorts that I'm most often like to visit for the beignets, for walking around the resort area, or for the beignet burger. Everything is good about it.
Food's amazing.
The food is
beignet
amazing.
kebab.
The rooms are
beignet
really
on the
nice
Barbie.
too. I don't know when the last time you stayed in them, Carlos, was, but last time I was in them, they'd been somewhat updated since the time before that.
It was a long time ago. It was a really long time ago.
They're
When were you there,
really
Collin?
nice rooms. Probably less than 2 years ago, 2.5, somewhere like that. It was great, and we lucked out and got a room inside one of the first wings that overlooks the pool, and that's a spectacular view at night, especially after the parks are closed and the pool's closed. It's really calm, really still. It's a very, very quiet resort, which tends to get overlooked by most. And of Riverside or French Quarter, I'll pick French Quarter 100 times over.
My second option takes us all the way west. West we go, but not all the way west. We go stop right there in California at the Grand Californian in the Disneyland. That's right. I went outside of Walt Disney World. Yes, that's right.
Twice.
I did it. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
You have many continents that could be on that list.
The Grand Californian is fantastic. So same architect designed the Grand Californian as the Wilderness Lodge and the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So there are similarities, as you can see a little bit from this picture. It's one of those spaces where you walk in and unlike the Wilderness Lodge and the Animal Kingdom Lodge, it's not the scale and the grandeur of it that really is kind of knocking your socks off. It's the warmth. It's the coziness. It's this grand, great big space that feels just super cozy. It's got the California, craftsman style architecture. It has, as you can sort of see here, these big boulders that here it's actually looks like it is framing. I don't think that might be the fireplace area. I can't really tell from this picture. But there's a beautiful fireplace, a gorgeous big fireplace in the center of the lobby, and it's two-sided. So the fireplace continues on the outside of the lobby area, literally outside. And it's so wonderful. Anyway, and this, of course, because I also consider this part of the lobby, there's a wonderful little bar, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it. Carlos, do you remember?
No.
We spent
a lot of time there.
That great little space over there. Well, it's actually a pretty large space.
Yep.
It's
larger than I expected.
You open.
When we went in there.
It's I think it's just one of those spaces. It's similar to Wilderness Lodge in terms of its warmth, but it feels it has more of a modern feel to it than the Wilderness Lodge, but they are sister resorts in many ways. And honestly, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's really not cheap. It's a splurge. It's a splurge to stay there, but
substantially more expensive than Wilderness Lodge.
But it does have one benefit. I mean, other than being beautiful and the rooms are lovely and the spaces are great, one of the other benefits that it has that no other U.S. based park has is that the resort has an entrance directly into Disney's California Adventure, right? And that's just around the corner from the lobby.
Collin, what about your number one?
Yeah, so my number one's probably no surprise to anybody, and specifically it was going to be Boulder Ridge at Wilderness Lodge, because I have a small scale obsession with that, and if you're a regular here on the show, you very easily know that. It's probably a large scale obsession at this point, but Jason was kind enough to say, hey, go ahead and take Wilderness Lodge too. And for me, this is the quintessential Disney World resort. It's kind of everything that I would imagine Walt would have loved. It's very nostalgic. It's very classic. It has some railroad inspirations. It has some inspirations from just kind of woodsy areas that Walt seemed to love and kind of put into many different things that he was involved with. And from the moment you step into the Wilderness Lodge, you know you're in a special place. And kind of the way I rank resorts, which is, I don't know if I've ever shared this on the show, is if you can walk into a resort and if somebody had booked it and said, hey, I'm just going to book something on a whim, we're going to Disney, we're going to go to this resort. If you can walk into the door and you're instantly blown away, you've done something right and you're at a resort that you're meant to be at. And so much can be said about Boardwalk, so much can be said about Yacht and Beach Club, but imagine being on a business trip where somebody's booked your room for you and you walk into the Wilderness Lodge. Could you imagine what that would be like if you didn't know what you were walking into? And that's just spectacular to me. I mean, you can't get a better resort lobby than that. At least I've not experienced one, if there is one. And to me, it always feels like home. And I see that comment from Ben popping up on the screen right now, but there are so many things in the scale of that lobby where you can just escape to a little spot. You can rest in front of a fireplace. It scales laterally as well. So if you go up a few floors, there's more hidden alcoves. And there's probably more hidden gem spots in that resort than anywhere on property. The larger, grander lobby is wonderful. But to me, Boulder Ridge is the pick every single time because it is that quieter escape. It's that place that most people won't go to. You might hear a luggage cart roll through, but you're not going to hear these big cavernous noises. You're not going to hear the yelling from Whispering Canyon. It's just an escape.
Collin's option could be my first one, but there is another one, and the guys were gentle enough to say, no, you can take it, Carlos. And actually, I'm talking about the Grand Floridian and the whole experience that you have when you enter that lobby and you see that. And I remember the very first time I entered that. And when I first entered the first time, there was the huge Christmas tree, and was actually
So you can't talk about this resort without mentioning Christmas time.
Yes.
It is Christmas time.
And
it's what this resort is for me.
It was it's mind blowing. So the first reaction is you get really overwhelmed, but the grandiose of that lobby and that area is so beautiful, and now the sound is everything that you get from there is amazing. So thank you guys, and to give me the opportunity to pick the first one as because I know that probably could be the first one for everyone here and there. It is grandiose, is amazing. So
I walked into that lobby once with my dad, and we looked over at each other. It's like, it feels like a Hallmark movie in here. Is basically what it turns into around the holidays. It's like you feel like they should be filming something in the first floor, like a Christmas movie of some type should be what you're a part of. It's very, very unique, to say the very least.
It's unique, and during Christmas time, you can spend a long time there because so many things for you to experience there. It is great, and I hope that we can have at least part of that this holiday.
I think we will. I think we'll see more Christmas decor than people expect. So we'll see.
Jason, what about your number one?
It's another tropical destination, and that is Aulani.
I'm noticing a trend here with Jason's picks.
Yeah,
with the shiny floors.
Yep.
Shiny floors and tall ceilings.
It's so here's the thing. The first time we visited Aulani and you pull up, I was underwhelmed. Now not by like the way everything looks from the outside, because it's beautiful. But when you pull up, I was expecting something like the Polynesian resort. Like, okay, waterfalls and tiki torches, and it wasn't like that. And so I was a little disappointed. And then you get it. You step out of the vehicle, you're greeted. Hospitality is over the top. You are flanked by two different water features. One that features sort of it's more of a turbid kind of pond water running. No, there's no koi there, thank goodness. And then on the left is a more still, kind of more peaceful, tranquil water feature with water that's emanating from like little mini fountains where the water comes up through these little these white rocks, like river rock. You go in, flanked by these water features, and then you see this, and it opens up, and it is like, it's kind of like walking into a dream. You immediately are hit, of course, by this incredible tropical smell that is both foreign and also familiar. It is you are flanked and you're surrounded by murals, these beautiful murals that are telling stories of the Hawaiian culture. And again, the right side is representing sort of men and masculinity and that sort of thing, and then the left side is more feminine and representing women in Hawaiian culture. And that is repeated throughout the building. That the sort of right versus left, feminine versus masculine, not versus, but in terms of it being a cultural complementary.
Thematically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You are facing, you can't really see here, but when you walk in, you're facing the Pacific Ocean, and so
it looks like it's open air. Is that correct? I've not been.
It's not open. It's open air in terms of like the doors are open on both sides, so birds do come in, they do come through, but you can walk straight out into the balcony and see not only the beautiful courtyard area in the back, but also the water park. I mean, there's another, I don't know another word for it. They have like a little mini water park that they have there, and then the ocean. The music is incredible. It's like Disney tunes, but they are being, so they're familiar tunes, but they're being sung in Hawaiian. And in that style, and so you're like, wait, what? I know this, but and
it's been on my list for a while.
Yes, Jason, I know that there's something prepared. I think that you do have.
We do have something. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about it. Is this
your new honorable mention music?
I don't even remember.
It's the one that we can use, and that is your honorable mention.
Yeah, so I totally forgot I was doing this. So I did. Yes, I asked permission first. I said, "Can you mind if I slip this
It
honorable
wasn't
mention?"
really an ask. It was more of a, hey, I'm doing this.
I kind of slipped it in on the news. But this, I mean, the Grandestino Tower, it leapfrogged. It leapfrogged the competition in my mind and in my heart in terms of becoming one of my favorite lobbies. I mean, it's one of my favorite resorts, hands down now. Not just, I mean, the lobby space is amazing. I know that's what we're talking about. But in terms of the restaurants and the grounds, Three Bridges, and it's just so nice. But the artistry, the theming that is not overtly Disney, but is tastefully connected to Disney. Then the connection is driven by relationships. Well, but the connection is relationship driven, and in terms of featuring the relationship, the friendship that Salvador Dali had with Walt Disney.
And I think it's a fair statement that you almost have to experience the resort more than once before you get a really good feel for that. If you're not staying there for an extended amount of time, like if you're only going for dinner or something, I could see how people could be like, hey, this doesn't feel like Disney. But at the same time, if you start diving a little deeper, you can really pull out the Disney influences.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Carlos, can you pull the picture back up? Yes. I just want to also point out that this was not that picture. There it is. I was looking at the Alani picture. The picture here featuring the Grandestino Tower lobby is actually from our good friend across the pond, Ben Ackhurst. So thank you so much for lending that picture to me, because as it turns out, I was so busy eating and drinking in these spaces, and I have taken lots of pictures of like the windows, and I've taken pictures of the lobby artwork, that really cool. I mean, there's a lot of Moorish sort of styling in there. Just wonderful architecture.